Atlanta Bird Gang, what's happening? It's your dog, Toddy, checking in with a video. Hey, man, let's get straight to the business. You seen the title. Is it possible that the Atlanta Falcons would bring a Metro Atlanta native back home? Is it possible that the Atlanta Falcons could possibly trade for Mr. Justin Fields? Now, I don't need to tell any of you, uh, going into the 2021 draft, there was a lot of debate, a lot of, I don't want to say controversy, but it was a lot of debate, a lot of talk on whether or not the Falcons should have initially drafted Justin Fields. I would dare say going into that draft, probably 45, 50, 55% of this fan base thought it made more sense to actually draft Justin Fields than it did Kyle Pitts, who of course we eventually drafted. A lot of people's frame of mind or perspective was it made more sense entering a new rebuild with a new administration to go ahead and draft your franchise quarterback of the future and let him sit behind Matt Ryan for a year and watch, observe, and learn. Now, as history has it, we drafted Kyle Pitts. He had a great rookie year, and Chicago Bears eventually drafted Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields' first year with the Bears, he had a rough outing, as did all those quarterbacks of that memorable quarterback class. Trevor Lawrence struggled. Justin once again struggled. Zach Wilson struggled. Mac Jones did pretty good, but he did go to a already built team with a very experienced coach in Bill Belichick. But is it possible the Falcons would trade for Justin Fields? Now, currently, Chicago holds the number one pick in the draft. And just like we have a lot of chatter in our fan base about quarterbacks, the Chicago Bears have a lot of chatter in their fan base about quarterbacks. I'm not a Bears fan. I don't spend a lot of time in, going back and forth with Bears fans. But from what I can gather, about 50% of them are pro Justin, about 50% of them are anti Justin in regards if he can be their quarterback for the next 10 plus years. Now, with Chicago holding that number one pick, there are a lot of quarterbacks, of course, that'll be at their disposal. You got Bryce Young, who for the last 2 years, most people have projected him as the top prospect in the entire draft. Not just the top quarterback, but the top prospect. You got CJ Stroud, who had a phenomenal game against the Georgia Bulldogs, back-to-back national champions, Georgia Bulldogs, by the way. Go Dogs. You even got Will Levis, who's gained a lot of steam. You even have some people that are mocking Anthony Richardson. That's the number one quarterback. So the Bears have some decisions to make. Now, today, NFL Insider Jason LeConfra, I hope I said his name correctly. He put out a tweet today stating that it looks like a lot of NFL executives have the feeling that Justin Fields will be traded, as you see right here on the screen. I'm going to read this tweet from Jason LeConfra. It says, more than one NFL general manager came away from the Senior Bowl fairly convinced that Justin Fields will be dealt. Let's read it again. More than one NFL general manager came away from the Senior Bowl fairly convinced that Justin Fields will be dealt. Now, I will say this. Jason LeConfra is a pretty reliable insider. I'm not saying that he gets everything right, but he's pretty reliable. He's not just throwing shit on the wall hoping it sticks. He's heard probably from some very reliable people that the Bears are looking at going in another direction at the quarterback position. So that brings us our Atlanta Falcons into the fold. We already know we got this quarterback. I guess we'll call it controversy. And when I say controversy, some of us think that the Falcons need to bring in competition, need to bring in another viable starter in front of Desmond Ridder. And you have some people within the fan base that thinks Desmond Ridder is the guy. So is it possible the Falcons take a swing for Justin Fields in a trade? Justin Fields' stats this past season, he passed for 2,242 yards, 17 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Now he was phenomenal rushing the ball, running the ball. He had 1,143 rushing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. He had a total of 3,385 total yards on offense. That's pretty good for a second-year starter. He completed 60% of his passes, which was a very much improved from his rookie year. He also had an 85 quarterback rating. Hey, that's fairly good for a second-year starter. That's fairly good. But his combined record as a starter is only 5-20. Needless to say, the Chicago Bears didn't surround him with any viable weapons. They have they have the most cap space in front of the Falcons going into next year. They have about double the cap space we have. They have almost $100 million. So that lets us know they weren't spending a lot of money this past season. But is that something the Falcons need to do? Do you bring in the Metro Atlanta kid back home to Atlanta? He's from Kennesaw, Georgia, which is probably about 30 minutes, depending on traffic, from downtown Atlanta. I don't need to tell you that Fields would definitely fit in what we do on offense, what Arthur Smith likes to do on offense. Arthur Smith loves athletic quarterbacks to run his offense. And, we can debate till the cows come home on how effective or ineffective Justin Fields is as a passer. But he did improve a lot from his rookie year. And I kept up with Justin Fields and also Trevor Lawrence all through their high school years because they were like local celebrities within the state of Georgia. And they were always competing 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B. So from high school to college at Ohio State, Justin Fields could always throw the ball. So I would assume he would get better as he establishes more NFL experience throwing the ball. Can Justin Fields, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Tyler Algier, Cordero Patterson? Hey man, sounds pretty promising. It sounds pretty promising. Now, that to some people that might be a much better strategy than to pursue Lamar Jackson, who's going to cost, we already know, 3 first-round draft picks. If you don't give them 3 first-round draft picks, they're going to want a Grady Jarrett or AJ Terrell to offset one of those first-round draft picks. If you trade for Justin Fields, I would, dare I say, maximum of 2 first-round draft picks is all he's going to be. All he'll get on the open trade market. And who knows? Maybe it costs us 1 first-round draft picks and a multitude of second and third-round draft picks. But it's just something to ponder, y'all. I won't keep you long today, but tell me what you think, man. Do you think it would be a good idea to trade for Justin Fields? As that chatter starts to build toward the NFL draft that he will be dealt? Do you think it's a good idea to trade for Justin Fields, or do you think it's a bad idea to trade for Justin Fields? Tell me what you think in the comments, please. Let me know your thoughts. You know how we do. We chop it up in the comments. Hey, if you appreciate the content, if you appreciate the video, please subscribe to the Atlanta Bird Game channel. Make sure that you hit the notification bell. That way, anytime we drop new content, YouTube will send you a Facebook notification. As we always say, I'll see y'all next time I see y'all. Peace.